Hey there. Jacob here from that time we woke up in a podcast and had to explain manga. Our heated adventures over analyzing manga we find interesting. Otherwise known as the Over Manga Cast. This lovely evening, we read 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Written by Rikito Nakamura and illustrated by Yukiko Nozawa. We read chapters 21 through 38. Now, lay back and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast and happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're all having a lovely time. As always, here at the top of the show, we talk about our familiarity with the franchise. But since this is a revisit, it's just, have you guys experienced any new stuff about 100 Girlfriends since last time? For me, it's really only been bits and pieces that my friend who actually reads this series regularly has sent me. Hi, John.
Hey, Matt here. I'm just going to say I felt like the last reading of Hundreds Girlfriends violated me on a deep level that kept me satisfied for the entire year. I was good, so I didn't look into it anymore.
Good phrasing.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it.
How about you, Jacob?
I didn't particularly care for it. I didn't hate it. Basically, the way I look at 100 Girlfriends is, this is a bad manga. It's the good kind of bad. So I will absolutely read it for the podcast, but if you left me to my own devices, I would continue to forget this exists. So I did not read anymore.
And Jay.
So, similarly to my co-hosts, I did not read further aside from the assigned reading. However, my take on the last reading is very different. I do enjoy a good bit of unsavory literature, such as this. So while I have not continued reading this one in particular, I'm pretty sure there are many series that did take its place. So rest assured, yes, but no.
Thankfully, this manga knows exactly what it is and will give a very pithy recap of the story thus far. So we know at the first panel of our new reading section that the perverted mother and daughter want to peep on Rentarō in the bath.
And who can blame them? He's quite the catch.
That man's got to get 100 girlfriends, or else they die.
For some reason. A lot of the meta jokes in this section of reading came off a lot less to me as you can't criticize me, I'm parody. That aspect of it has calmed down to near nil at this point, because in a lot of cases it's really more of a the manga itself will look at you and say, do you really want us to belabor the point and actually explain this? You know where this is going, almost literally in a couple of cases.
No, that's the part that I love about it. The fourth wall is reduced to a pile of powdered glass, and they're just like, we're not making any bones about it.
Yes, this is exactly what you think it is. We are going there.
I feel like they did that stuff better this time.
Yeah.
Well, if you want Jacob's full opinion on that, watch 100 Girlfriends Part 1 that we did last Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Really confusing that you haven't watched that before this one, but you do you.
Given this manga, it's probably not that big a deal.
Honestly, it's fine. But do watch that episode. It's a good episode. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the manga where we have the Peeping Tom arc.
Yes.
It's a thing that happens.
Peeping James
was a good joke, and then it continued to increase and get creepy at points, and then it just got, for me, too drawn out and lame. And I'm just like, we get it. Yes. Ugh.
I loved the fact this was a peeping in the bath arc. That little to no peeping happened.
Yeah.
The jokes were all completely different jokes.
This manga, it is extremely predictable, but And that is the best way I have to describe it, because
It's the way it expresses the obvious punchline that makes it work.
it's all the girls decide they want to go peep on Rentarō, except for Shizuka, precious bean that she is, and they decide to wrap her up in a pillow burrito.
Yeah, that was my first thought. It's a Shizuka burrito, but then they label it as Sushizuka.
Oh my god, sushi roll! I just love the dog, but like out of nowhere, it's just like, what the stop being dramatic.
I'm just saying, the panels of her being rolled into a thing. If I have not made a very good edit of this by the time this episode comes out, I failed all of you.
I do love Shizuka's continued relationship with the dogs at the manor.
Yep.
Yes. These dogs are sassy. I love it.
They are. Well, they're the dogs of a wealthy family, so of course they're sassy. The peeping fails spectacularly because they just end up
idiots.
Because they're idiots, and Rentarō thinks that their shenanigans are ghosts. Very scary.
Also, my boy's so wholesome. He refuses to not wear a full towel in the bath because he knows his girlfriends will try and peep on them, and it would be unbecoming of him to like reveal himself to his girlfriend.
Yes, this man is so humble that literally he accepts that he lives with a bunch of degens, and I love it.
The king of decency, Aijou Rentarō.
Meanwhile, Shizuka is trying to stop the rest of them from their peeping because, well, she gets the idea in her head that it will ultimately result in their deaths somehow, I think.
That sounds about right. Sure.
I love it.
That sounds like advice I'd get from a youth pastor.
Yeah. Rentarō, so terribly ashamed, commits suicide by being dragged through the street by a horse. And then the rest of the girls, so terribly ashamed, commit suicide by being dragged through the street by the same horse, all tied up at the same time. And thus leaving Shizuka a 8 times over widow before she even graduates high school. And that is the fantasy that she has that fills her with determination to roll down the stairs.
Which, I mean, like, that sounds like something that this manga would do.
Perfectly encapsulating the you know exactly where this is going, but since Shizuka is the only one who did not want to go peeping, she is the only one who sees anything, and this happens as she is booted down the stairs by the dog, rolls into the bath, and Rentarō loses his towel in the act of saving her.
Good things happen to those who try to actively avoid it. This is what we learn.
I love how like knocked out Shizuka is mumbling in her sleep. I thought I liked giraffes, but I actually like elephants. I'm like, okay.
It's like...
That's a deep thought right there.
Like,
yes, think about it. Think about it, Sam.
I don't know if I want to.
Sam, calm your innocent mind. It's not something you need to concern yourself with.
Sam, to answer your question, it's prehensile.
Yeah.
Wait a minute!
He has such perfect control over his own desire.
Yeah.
Oh my, I would not be surprised.
I was gonna say, that sounds like something that this manga would do!
You're welcome, ladies.
As if to counteract the fact that Rentarō is deeply afraid of all the ghosts that are in this old mansion, he finds Hahari praying at the shrine or making an offering to her dead husband's shrine, and he's just like, oh, that's my new girl, I better go like be part of her life and also give an offering to her old husband, where he then finds out her old husband is a picture of a middle school kid.
Yeah. Her old husband, who is also the father of one of the girlfriends. Just to make sure that we're all still on the same page here.
It's because I have more questions, because I didn't know that he Rikito was a husband. I thought from the first reading that he was just some guy she was creeping on.
Yeah, it's not very clear until this point. And I mean, like, I kind of love this scene where Rentarō and Hahari are talking, because it starts out with this, like, unironically heartfelt moment of Hahari is like, I feel like such a jerk because I still love my late husband, but I also love you. Does that mean it's fake? Am I a bad person for loving two people? And Rentarō goes into this. I mean, it's a very well-worn monologue, but a monologue about, moving on doesn't mean you have to stop loving the other person. It doesn't make any new feelings any less real. And it's going on for a while. It's actually kind of heartfelt. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty basic, but I like it. And then they start justifying to comedic effect, they start justifying the plot of the manga.
Yeah.
Where it dovetails into Rentarō talking about how, if I can love all of you.
We then get to find out the backstory of how
that all happened.
Well, we get the merciful thing. She says, I've always had a thing for younger men. And Rentaro's like, oh, I had assumed it was an older guy when you said you got pregnant at 13. I guess this is better? Kind of sounds like you're the predator now, but we're not gonna go into that too much.
She fully she remains the predator throughout this entire reading.
Yeah.
They make it weird.
I don't think the manga ever portrays Hahari as doing the correct thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like she leans into it and embraces it. She's like, yes, I am everyone's mommy.
We haven't gotten there yet, but my
everyone's
favorite
sex
bit
mommy
is we get a flashback to her telling Rentarō, I've never had my first kiss because as my husband was dying of his backstory
dead lover disease.
Yeah, his backstory character disease. He said to me on my deathbed, I don't want to sully you. I want you to save your first kiss for someone that you can be with for the rest of your life. I'm only here temporarily. And I'm like, my dude, you had no problem raw dogging her and knocking her up. Apparently,
okay.
Save her first kiss.
Canonically, that did not happen, and you know it. Canonically, this lady literally creeped on him to get his semen, and then artificially inseminated herself.
It was artificial insemination after the fact, because
you guys
forgot
remember
that
so much of this.
Yeah, it's weird regardless.
So much more sense.
I told you, that's why I was so perplexed of whether this guy was actually her husband, because from our first part of our reading, she legitimately was creeping on this guy so hard that she wanted to have his babies by any means possible, while acknowledging that she was only a 13-year-old girl, saying, I'm going to use my resources to get this guy's semen.
I mean, he does seem to have slotted into the father role, at least. So, because we've been beating around the bush, Rentarō max on Hahari because that's what this manga does. Porn quality kissing scenes.
Basically, the standard loop of this manga is a stupid thing happens, then it gets cute, then it gets weird, then it gets sexy, sometimes uncomfortably so, and then the chapter ends. But in this case, we get a little bit of extra
of weird.
This isn't the same kind of weird it normally goes to. This is just weird. Rentarō suddenly bumps into the ghost of Hahari's ex, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think you call a widow's ex-husband, her ex sounds weird.
Yeah.
Her former husband.
Yeah, we'll go with that. He tries to do a vengeful ghost shtick, but it doesn't work because Rentarō is too wholesome.
Rentarō, his good boy energy is so strong that it's like, wait a minute, I was using my ghost powers to watch all that shenanigans with the peeping earlier. You were freaking out at the idea of a ghost. And he's like, well, yeah, but like, you're Hikari's father. You can't be that bad, right?
Also, you're basically my father-in-law. And then they made it that kind of weird.
Even the ghost is like, do not call me that. That is exceptionally weird that you called me that.
I'm really weirded out that you've taken both my wife and child from me. That's kind of like what you're doing is messed up. He's just like, I don't think you understand. I'm the protagonist. I'm Rentarō. I am incredibly wholesome. He's just like, you're right. You are incredibly wholesome. No, I'm going to double down. I'm incredibly wholesome. How about you and me watch over them together forever? I would never try and usurp you, Dad. My God, son, you're so wholesome. Wait, no, too wholesome. I'm being exercised. Ah!
My soul is at peace.
God, I fell out of my chair laughing at Rentarō screaming, "Father!" as he's like collapsing on the ground.
I love the implication that Rentarō killed his girlfriend's ex by being too wholesome.
Yes.
And then he wakes up, which, like, so did any of that actually happen or not? They never explain.
It's like, oh well, okay, you kids got to get to school. Understandable. Surely this means that Hikari won't be showing up regularly since she is an adult and CEO and whatnot. So, oh no, wait, she just bought out the school.
I am the headmaster now.
Assert the dominance.
Hey, you know how it was weird how I was banging my high school daughter's boyfriend? I'm now also his teacher.
Yeah.
I'm now also his administrator.
Oh, we gotta get that one in.
Oh yeah.
It's not like this school has a great track record for
Teachers?
not
That
abusing positions of power.
character had actually, hopefully you've already done the reading, so I'll just spoil this. That character, that one, if you've read the manga or listened to the previous episode, you know who we're talking about. That character doesn't show up again. I'm okay with that.
Oh no,
Yes, she does.
She does temporarily, and she gets brutalized by an ostrich.
I was about to say she gets almost killed by an she gets kicked almost to death by an ostrich.
I didn't even realize that was her.
Just out of nowhere, yes. It's great.
Don't worry, we'll explain later. It still won't make sense, but we will explain later.
Oh, anyway, every time we have an arc in this, we get one of these little interstitial scenes of everyone just hanging around on the roof doing nothing. And this one, Kusuri invented a new drug that swaps brains because everyone's like, oh, by the time the end of the third volume comes around, he might have gotten bored of us. Well, let's kind of shake things up and swap bodies.
What could go wrong?
Kusuri's original plan was to increase the plasticity of their personalities so that they could develop new ones, which is still fucked up. But of course, Kusuri can't make she makes the drugs too good, and that's how the soul swapping happens.
Oh man, like I will say this about 100 Girlfriends. I love Kusuri, and I love the plots she has. I fucking hate that they decided to make her a piss fetishist.
Yep.
I hate Kusuri so much. I agree with Matt that I like the plots that her shenanigans cause. I hate her so much.
Yeah, that and the full-on lolly.
She's an adult woman who prefers having a child body because she's allowed to piss herself.
This is the downside of the X-Men approach to
Checking that box.
Body swap shenanigans happen. We have the delightful moment of Hikari trying to use the fact that she is in a different body to perv on Rentarō. He immediately recognizes her because of her mannerisms.
That's the entire joke, though, is that like the normal concept of a body swap episode doesn't work on Rentarō because he knows his girl's personality so well.
Because he's so perfect. He's so wholesome.
Oh.
Yep. But naturally kissing is the way to fix this because it makes the girl so lightheaded releases their souls to fly back into their own bodies. And
That's a thing that happens.
And the swapped around personalities are actually quite exciting for Rentarō because he gets to experience the girls with completely opposite personalities.
But Sam, you forgot how wholesome Rentarō is. It's not as exciting as they are every day normally because he loves them so much originally.
Yes. Novelty can never compare to what he loves. There are a few of these body swaps that I really like Karana getting Shizuka's personality, so she's just standing there smiling cutely. What was it? Hikari and Nano's body, also very, very funny.
Oh, you know what we also completely skipped over?
What?
When Rentarō got up to go to the bathroom when he ran into the ghost of Hikari's father. Hikari had been laying next to him and was just like, "Hey, I'm having some real trouble going through this. There was a whole suicide thing before. We're gonna play up that plot beat for some reason." I'm like, "Can you just hold me and tell me everything's gonna be okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I was worried I was gonna lose you, smooch." And then he wakes up in the middle of the night to just Hikari and Karane just violently making out in their sleep, and goes like, "Oh, we're good friends."
I gotta say, that has consistently been one of my favorite bits. The fact that Rentarō, Karane, and Hikari form the platonic ideal of a love triangle where every vertice is attracted to the other vertices. And because it's this manga, the obvious answer to that problem is polyamory, and the manga already said that that's what we're doing. So
that's the entire premise of the manga in the first place. So yeah.
The manga kind of gives the premise of it's like a harem, but this is like a super harem. It's an inner harem.
It's a harem of 100 girlfriends.
And then it's a harem within a harem.
It's harems all the way down.
It really is. Interpersonal conflict between the girls, creating even more sub-harems. Something about the way I phrase that feels wrong. Anyway, who wants to introduce a new girlfriend?
No, I want to read the Dark Tournament arc instead. Oh, we can have both? Cool.
Yeah, we can have both. It's the Budokai Tenkaichi, but with food.
Really excited, and then I was just very concerned and confused.
I love this arc because it turns into just a giant parody of tournament arcs, and it's perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
They're all eating lunch on the roof, where Rentarō discovers he did not bring enough lunch for everyone.
Because he just does that, because of course.
And he needs to run down to the cafeteria to get an extra sandwich. And I'm like, hold on, I'm calling bullshit. Rentarō would have never forgotten the lunch of one of them.
No, Kasuri forgot her lunch, and so he naturally sacrificed his own to her and went to go get something else to replace it. Because again, he is the best boy.
But I mean, it's this manga, so it doesn't really belabor the how we got here. The important part is new girlfriend. Yeah. Because as he goes to get some fried egg on toast, he accidentally touches hands with another person in the line. Their eyes meet, and the love shock happens. But what's this? She's kind of a bitch.
Also a middle schooler.
Also a middle schooler. God damn it, manga. Every time.
Hold on. There's a year difference between them. I don't care, considering he's currently with one of his girlfriend's mothers. We really gotta pick our battles here.
You know what, Matt? Excellent point.
She's a third year in middle school. He's a first year in high school. They're about a year apart.
He's a freshman dating an 8th grader. I don't care about that at all. Jeez.
Yeah.
You know what? You make an excellent point. We have to remember the context of this situation.
We get a tsundere even harder than the character whose one of her only two personality traits is tsundere. The other part is straight man, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
She did hungry.
She's very hungry.
Her entire personality is being hangry.
Yes.
when she hungry, she get angry.
As soon as she gets the food she was hankering for, she is on cloud 9. Her tragic backstory is that she has a very high metabolism, and she unconsciously plays word association games between food and what people say. Or somebody could be talking about Lapita, the castle in the sky, and be like, want the toast from that now. And it will become the only thing she cares about. Also, this is her excuse for wearing a hoodie and headphones for the punk girl aesthetic, because that is supposed to make her not notice things that would make her hungry.
Yes, that's literally a coping mechanism so that she stays hyper-focused and not drifts off into thoughts about food. It is very moderate success.
But it creates a punk girl aesthetic, which when combined with how peppy and happy she gets when she eats the food she wants, creates a little bit of moe gap. And there you go. We are now back into the space of this manga. Or gap moe, that's how it's phrased. Anyway.
Moe gap is a very, very different thing.
Yeah, be careful, Sam.
We're not going to go there because I fear that this manga might at some point.
I know for a fact Hikari goes there in...
Every time.
Yeah, pretty regularly.
Hikari goes there in this reading.
Yes. New hungry girl desperately wants a certain kind of sandwich because it was being talked about on a TV show. But of course, since it is on this popular TV show, everyone else does this as well, despite not having her very particular fixation. And but
we need that for the plot to happen.
Yeah, but fear not, Aijou Rentarō is here, the man who will move heaven and earth for a girl he just met, and he kit bashes together a sandwich and a hamburger to make this meal that she wants, severely burning himself with a deep fryer in the process.
Because he has to be self-sacrificing too.
Because he washes the ketchup off a burger and then deep fries it, forgetting it's soaking wet.
And this incredible act of sacrifice manages to melt her cold tsundere heart. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll tell you my name. I'm Haraga Kurumi, and maybe we could have lunch together as boyfriend and girlfriend. Sure thing, Kurumi-chan. Don't call me Chan, that makes me think of food. Okay, then. Anyway, here's the rest of my girlfriends.
He's still not explained the whole "there's gonna be 100 of you" thing to them, because they're like, this is starting to become a pattern, isn't it?
Well, no, that's the thing I love, because they are just like, okay, I guess we've got a new one now.
I'm gonna be honest. I think after the 6th, you're kind of just like, okay, this is just gonna keep happening.
It would be more surprising if it stopped.
If Karane has gotten used to it by this point, I don't expect argument from anybody.
But so Kurumi.
She has a very similar personality and a name to Karane, which we're only like, what, 8 in? This is
like Hikari and Hahari, yes.
Well, that's why she has black hair. But so she doesn't really fit in with the rest of the girls because she's antisocial and mean. And I love Rentarō's just like, hey, I know maybe hanging out in a big group isn't your jam, and that's fine. We can go have lunch someplace else. And she's like, no, that caused this manga to be difficult to plot things, so I'm gonna be here and be unhappy. Oh, well, here's a flyer for a plot ticket. Do you want to do that instead? Why would I want to go to a food eating competition? Oh, wait, the prize is a scoop of gelato from Mr. Gelato?
From the renowned pastry artist Pierre Giral? Prize money, a whole lot? Wow.
So
I do love that printed on the flyer is prize money : a whole lot.
you don't need to tell me twice. Just go.
But no one cares about the money.
Yeah, we just care about the food here.
Because they've got rich mommy Hahari. They don't need money.
And love, I guess.
And the love, I guess.
She is the sugar mama for the entire harem.
You ever have so much money that legitimately you just like have everything that you could possibly want?
I really like how you can have a team of up to 10 people, And it's like, but wait a minute, we only have 7 people with the current size of the harem and also Rentarō. But don't worry, adults and men count as 2.
Yeah, I'm so weirded out that this eating competition, its point system for teams is based on like teenage girls.
Yes.
Why would your base point be a single teenage girl for an eating competition?
Because we need to fit the whole harem in, Matt.
We need it to be exactly the right number of people for the harem.
Even then, the math still doesn't work because Hahari makes 9 and Rentarō would make 11. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. So. The manga does not belabor this point because it never belabors.
Oh no, wait, because there's
at that point it's 8. She is number 8. You're counting as if there were 8 girls and she added to that.
You're right.
Also, Hahari should not have counted for 2.
You are correct about that. Either way, we are going into the seating competition. There is a bunny girl. Is this supposed to be an author avatar? I don't know.
No, I think it's supposed to be like a dark tournament reference because it's some like monster girl who just makes announcements in a sassy way because she's just like, hey, how about instead of talking about like the rules of this thing, you just see sexy pinups of me? And I'm like, that sounds good because the rules for this tournament don't matter.
The rules of this tournament don't make sense. And it does look like the scene looks like a combination of every shonen tournament you've ever seen. Like, it looks like the Tenkaichi Budokai. It looks like the Dark Tournament. The announcer girl is on a like crane platform, like she's on one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Holo platforms.
The framing of this tournament makes no sense because they have an elimination round in the beginning of eat the most rice, but you can have all the side dishes you want.
They just won't count towards your point total.
Yeah, and this is such a powerful elimination round. It knocks out all but 3 teams.
Yeah.
Well, I think the idea is supposed to be that the bit is actually what knocks out all but 3 teams. What they claim is that because plain white rice is so boring, you won't be able to eat a huge amount. So we have side dishes that won't count towards your point total. But if you indulge in those, you won't be able to eat as much rice. It doesn't make sense, but they pretend it justifies it and move on because it's this manga.
The main character arc of this entire arc, since we're trying to desperately summarize a bunch of gags, is Kurumi is, I don't need to be part of a team. I'm not part of this family. I'm just being girlfriend to the main guy on the side, which really, that makes her a home wrecker. She should really be part of the family, but whatever. She's saying, I'm going to compete in every single round by myself. I don't need to be on a team. And Rentarō is just like, I'm going to join you, and I'm going to tell you that there's going to be a team every step of the way. But first, we got to eat rice together. And Rentarō's whole bit is he just has his girlfriends feed him rice, and he eats more rice than anyone else. Because plain rice served by each of his girlfriends has a distinct flavor that's better than any side dish.
Super wholesome.
His good boy powers will not allow him to not clean the plate of something that his beloved girlfriends gave him.
That sounds like a euphemism for something, but I don't feel like I can bring this up on this podcast.
Gotta save that for Sis Confidential.
No!
Yes.
Or when we read the Dirty Joke manga. Because then we can talk about cookies.
Okay, I'm fine with that one. Meanwhile, Rentarō convinces her to try one of the side dishes, which, because she reacts so blissfully to the things that she eats, everyone else runs the side dish table, and that's why almost everybody gets eliminated.
Man, she made all that stuff look amazing. I could get me some of that. Oh no, I'm too full to eat rice. No!
Tournament's plan was to make all these delicious, freshly made side dishes and throw them out.
Yes, it's exceedingly wasteful.
Okay.
Anyway,
this is the dark tournament, so nothing matters, but...
Yes. Anyway, after this elimination round, we have 3 teams left. We have Rentarō's family. We have the return of the Gorira Alliance.
The boss's boyfriend over there.
I'm so happy to see the return of the Gorira Alliance. I love these guys. They're such a wonderful bit. And the final contestant, this Jabba the Hutt looking motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like a big tube person.
Takeo Super Deluxe.
God,
She's the size of a One Piece character.
that's right.
They are aware.
Keeps growing increasingly enormous from the perspective.
I think Karane mentions, do we really have to be at this perspective for this shot?
Yes.
And then we get a bunch of rounds of some nonsense.
This made me very uncomfortable. I don't know why. Maybe it's all the mention of jaws and throats.
I think it's round 3 is my favorite, but what's the next one?
We start off with Bubble Tea, where it is Kurumi and Sakura who go, or Sakura? Shizuka that go in. I was thinking of a different Shizuka from a different story, but they go in for this competition, and as they're making their way through the rounds of Bubble Tea, eventually everyone's jaw starts getting tired from chewing on the tapioca, except for Shizuka, who, thanks to her, as Rentarō puts it, tiny mouth, has to...
Very tiny.
She's
Like a little chipmunk.
She's more well-trained in chewing than everyone else.
Look at all those balls she can keep in her cheeks.
God damn it.
Well, yeah, it gets creepy, but then it gets cute again because they do like the chipmunk.
She's like a tiny, adorable animal.
Then it gets creepy again because the girlfriends are like, "Wait, do you just treat Shizuka like she's our animal mascot?"
Kind of.
Yeah, that comes up a few times.
Not comfortable with one of the girlfriends being treated as set dressing, but okay.
Look, there's going to be 100 of these fuckers. It had to happen to one of them.
I mean, fair, but can we just talk about how the explanation for why she's good at this makes no sense?
It really doesn't.
If she has a tiny mouth, that means she has to eat more than everyone else. She has to do more work, so her being used to doing more work is not a benefit.
Don't think about it too hard. Just look at her with the chipmunk cheeks and go aw.
No, because I gotta be like, you know how people in like track and field events go to Boulder City, Colorado to train because the lower amount of like oxygen makes it harder to run. So you've got to work harder to do it.
Yeah, my track coach in high school did that.
So the whole point of that though is that when you come back to a normal altitude, you've got basically like Super Saiyan training. If you then proceed to try and break the record in Boulder City, Colorado, you've done nothing.
But you know what? We got to see an image of Chipmunk Shizuka next to an actual chipmunk, and that makes it worth it.
Yep.
It's very cute. I like Shizuka a lot. She's great.
Also, my favorite part of Bubble Tea is the tapioca. I love it. So chewy.
My favorite part is stabbing the roof of the cup with the straw.
Violence.
Mm-hmm.
much like the next round, where they have to eat 10 pieces of sushi very fast.
My girl Nana steps up to the plate and just like, what? First of all, the 10 pieces of sushi in an eating competition, hilariously small amount. The rest of the teams are just like, how could I possibly eat food without savoring its flavor? Nana's just like, yo, hold up. I gotta prove to my boyfriend I ain't got a gag reflex. Let's slide these koozies down my throat.
I want to say he's wrong, dear listener, but he's not.
No, because they say in story her throat is made of a special alloy. Like, come on! Chewing is inefficient.
Yeah, they're really riding the Nano is actually a robot joke.
Here's the problem, though. Because all she eats is vitamin supplements, she's not actually used to consuming large amounts of food, or in this case, middling amounts of food. So eating the 10th piece of sushi is too much for her. However, she knows that the human body will begin burning calories faster in response to life-threatening danger. So she climbs up the stairs to activate her fear of heights, so that it will burn away the food and give her more appetite.
This is all being described by Rentarō, starting with an "of course." It's also the part where Karate starts pointing out, You're just making this up, aren't you?
What do you mean, of course?
Yeah, I was about to say, Sam has described this way more concisely than the manga ever attempts to, because I had to reread this section 3 times to figure out why Nano was sucking down glizzies, and then decided to go, oh no, too full, better climb to the top so all the boys can see me suck down this final glizzy, and be like, yo, I'm Rapunzel because I'm the best at blowjobs. And I'm like, okay.
Throat goat Nano for here.
Oh my gosh.
Go, Nano!
Hi, YouTube. We're not normally like this, I swear.
No.
Well, maybe you guys aren't.
Now, if you want to see us normally be like this, go check out Sis Confidential.
No!
No, my favorite part is Rentarō and every man in the crowd sees Nano at the top of the crane with her long hair flowing in the wind, and it's like Rapunzel at the top of a tower. It's like, you're all nerds.
And of course, Rentarō has to go up the crane to carry.
Princess carry her down. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Oh, that happened.
Oh my god.
And then the next one's just eating cake, and that one's real funny because you can tell they're getting bored of. Oh, yeah, okay.
We have spicy tofu.
That's right.
Karane,
as I was going to say,
you
can tell they're getting bored of these rounds.
Yeah. Karane, of course, I'm tough enough for anything spicy. Kusuri, I take so many illegal drugs, I can handle anything.
If only that was your bit. I would like you so much more.
I wish Kusuri just did more drugs. If she was just constantly token, I would be like, rad girl, you do you. 420 blaze it.
If she was just a stoner, she'd be such a better character. They've been placing like second in every round because Jabba is just destroying everyone, but Jabba actually forfeits this round because, as we learn later, despite cheating by essentially not eating half of the food, this stuff is so spicy even the cheater won't eat it. Meanwhile, Rentaro's family, between Kusuri's incredible chemical tolerance, we'll say, and Karane's pride being stung by Hikari and Hahari being like, oh, and she was so confident too. Rentaro's family easily takes the W this round.
Because the arbitrary point system that's designed expressly to put Rentaro's family in a close second place in the final round puts them in a close second place in the final round. Moving on.
They win the cake round because Hikari and Hahari are like, oh no, my girlish figure. And Karane says, it'll make your boobs bigger. She's right.
Because that's how that works.
And so we're on to the final round. All the girls are out because they've eaten too much food. So Rentaro needs to use his super head pat technique to give belly rubs.
Yeah.
I love the joke that Karane is about to have like terrible intestinal distress because of
the amount of spicy food.
She said, like, I desperately need to go to the bathroom.
And the final round is ramen. It's at this point that we learn that Jabba was cheating because that all the like fat on her face is a makeup mask, and the like belly is vacuum.
But the weirdest thing is, she is actually that tall.
Yes.
She a big lady.
Actually, that tall vertically. Horizontally, no.
Nope.
And we get the villain speech of the prize money will be mine. And it doesn't really amount to much.
Because with the power of love, Rentaro's family all managed to put down more ramen.
There's a whole tournament arc bit about I have to go it alone. Oh no, because I was going it alone the entire time. I've exhausted myself. But then friendship, and in this case, love. Mm-hmm. They start using love as like a substitute word for anything they need.
I don't know what you expected. Anyway, they win the tournament because the vacuum breaks.
It gets overfilled.
And if you're wondering what happened to the Guerrero Alliance, they ate themselves into needing to be taken away by an ambulance. So yeah, new girlfriend get. That was perhaps the most convoluted one since Hahari.
Oh, but she has to find out what he tastes like.
Yes.
He's delicious. And now she just wants to smooch him when she hears the word soba.
Yes. She hears soba.
Mhm.
She hears soba and now must kiss boyfriend.
I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disappointed they didn't just full on Lady and the Tramp, the final piece of ramen that won them the competition.
Right?
Like,
I thought that's what they were playing up, but no, they just did the thing they did earlier of Rentarō can't throw up anything given to him by his girlfriend.
Yeah, Rentarō is wholesome again.
I mean, at least they've got a bit of consistency there.
Fair.
Anyway, baby mode.
So,
Yeah, that chapter happened.
Baby crazy lady. Being baby crazy. And then it
Ah.
backfiring.
the mother?
And the daughter.
Yeah. There's a whole mother-daughter thing about how Hikari is jealous that her mother is around so often, but is barely paying attention to her. That she gets over almost immediately. So the point of introducing it was basically non-existent.
My read of it was more like she always knew Hahari as this very cold, distant, calculating person, and I was like, wait, why has she turned into a swooning schoolgirl because she's with my boyfriend? This is fucked up. This isn't my mother.
It's our boyfriend.
What Matt mentioned is what Hikari is accused of. Meanwhile, Hikari's internal thoughts mention what go over what Sam mentioned. The truth is probably somewhere in between those two. But then Kurumi, I think she's trying to play fetch with something.
A cat.
Trying to play fetch with a cat. That results in everybody but Hikari and Rentarō turning into babies.
Because she created a baby drug to use on Rentarō because it was funded by Hahari because she loves the idea of babies and she wants to take care of a baby Rentarō. Of course, the baby drug only lasts for it can be safely reversed after an hour. You have to go for the full hour. So it accidentally hits everyone, including Hikari, leaving Hikari and Rentarō to take care of a bunch of babies of all their friends, girlfriends. And, this could have gone a lot of ways.
Everyone's girlfriends. It went exactly the way you thought it would.
They're not in relationships with each other, except for Kurane and Hikari. They just don't know it yet. Although,
all I'm saying is, baby Nano on the pillow, just staring at the sky. Same, fam. Same.
I don't know how to process this.
That's my reaction to this entire manga. How about that?
And it starts off with like, oh, we're having such a domestic moment. This is so cute. Oh, I want to make more babies with him. This is great. Oh, wait, no, taking care of babies is actually incredibly, it's incredibly energy and attention consuming.
I love how Hikari sees how many babies they've got with Rentarō, and she just goes, wow, 7 babies. That means we must have done it so many times. I'm like, yes, at least 7. You can probably shoot for a higher number. I don't. But, if you do you, I suppose. Well, I guess not, but anyway. I gotta say, I was about to say, the many directions this could have gone, relatively wholesome, except for the nursing fetish. But
yeah,
they make it weird.
Because of course, Hungry Girl has to, even as baby, she is constantly hungry, and so latches on to Hikari and Kurane because this bit will continue until morale improves.
something stupid happens, it gets cute, it gets weird.
Anyway, they all turned back to normal.
Turn back to normal.
And they never spoke of it again.
Hikari and Hahari have a little bit of a reconciliation, kind of, sort of, not really.
I understand how hard it was to be a mom.
There's a whole thing about how her mom was at like middle school. I'm a high schooler and I can't handle this. I can't imagine how you did this by yourself in junior high. And I'm like, that's a really deep, insightful moment. You really overplayed your hand here, though, because we just had a whole bunch of other nonsense that really kind of shifts the tone on this.
Anyway, who wants to play The Legend of Zelda? I mean Dragon Quest. I mean Final Fantasy. I mean Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, this thing happens.
I'm not gonna lie, reading relatively closely at the beginning, I started skimming the further it went.
I skimmed this one because this is just a whole bunch of dumb jokes about like, I'm playing with a toy. Your boobs are mountains. We do this several times.
Yeah, it's just Shizuka playing with a little toy and going on an adventure. It's decently cute, but that's about it.
There was one point I laughed, and that was Hikari going like, that toy is basically just a little Rentarō. Oh no. There's also a dark, mysterious cave he could explore. And then Karana's just like, wow, you're really just not even pretending, are you?
Nope, she's thirsty. Very, very thirsty.
Karana's like, you are not the age rating for this manga.
There is one good bit about this chapter in that it is the first return of full-size Kusuri in like way too fucking long for about 2 pages.
Yeah, but she gets a full panel spread of
She
Transformers.
came back just to make you a little bit more comfortable, and then immediately went away because she realized that was dumb. Your comfort means nothing to her.
I like adult Kusuri a lot. Like, yeah, it's great.
Adult Kusuri is great.
I agree.
I would also like child Kusuri if she wasn't a piss fetishist.
I
Just
also
gives
agree
people
with this.
drugs.
Look, I know I'm reading the manga where every fetish has to be represented because we have 100 girlfriends, but I did not sign up for ADBL today or any day.
But yeah, that chapter happens. It's never spoken of again.
Which is basically every time they do a stupid bit on top of the roof, to be fair.
Yep.
Yes, that's true.
So, maids, am I right?
Oh my god, I love this bit so much.
Okay, yeah, this bit is great.
It started off cute, and then it just became dumb.
Because
yes.
we forgot to mention, Hahari has brought with her her maid, who has been here the entire time, and you're like, oh, well, clearly she can't be one of the girlfriends because they're love at first sight. Don't worry.
They have a stupid explanation for that. It's really dumb.
Yes. She has very beautiful eyes. Unfortunately, she has somehow lost the capability of opening those eyes voluntarily.
Well, because her character is one of those characters who has their eyes closed constantly, and in a manga you're just like, oh, that makes them look like refined and graceful. And all of the characters was like, wait, no, can you open your eyelids? Okay, I forgot how. They're sealed shut.
I've spent so long smiling with my eyes closed, I can't.
At one point, she takes a box cutter to try to open her eyes. They have to stop her.
How do you see? Oh, I've got a very good sense of hearing and I can sense air pressure.
Whoever said I could see? What?
And like
that too.
It's very much at this point where, like, I'm sitting here like, okay, so we all know what the punchline is, right? And it's like the fact
I called
that
the punchline immediately.
and like, well, as soon as they're acknowledging that she is a female human person that exists, you know where it's going. But it's like the fact that they go through so much effort to belabor this stupid joke. Honestly, it wheels all the way back around to being funny again.
I gotta say, I did call immediately that Meido was going to become another one of the girlfriends. I thought the reason she was keeping her eyes closed all the time was because she had realized the bit of this manga and was intentionally keeping her eyes closed because she predicted that it was going to happen and she would never dare step on Hahari-sama's territory like that.
Sam, that's too deep. That is way too deep.
No, the manga just had an axe to grind with the concept of characters having their eyes closed all the time. I want you to know why this is stupid.
Yes, because 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you is definitely not living in a glass house, and it's totally fine to throw stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But anyway, Rentarō does eventually trick her into opening her eyes because he recounts an embarrassing story about Hahari, pretending it's an embarrassing story about him, and then being like, no, actually, that happened to Hahari-san. How dare you insult her memory like that? Oh, I've opened my eyes. Oh, our eyes have met. Oh, we're in love now. And she's got weird
Rainbow eyes.
I was going to say she's got Nia eyes, but they're not flower shaped. She's got Chainsaw Man eyes, and that she's got weirdly shaped, like, devil man pupils. Or irises.
Love at first sight. She does the very, frankly, for everything we know about her, the very reasonable thing of just like, well, I don't want to be in love with him and take any of his attention away from my mistress. So, well, I'm just going to seppuku. And I'm just like, from everything we've seen, that's fair. Like, your options are be in love with him or die of heartbreak. So, really the same thing.
And Hahari's like, no, it's fine. Look, I already know he's dating my daughter. You can just go for it. Oh, okay, then please go out with me, Aijou-sama. Okay. Anyway, I think this is a good place to take a break before we get to their actual date.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan as far as any.
This manga has no good break points, so I think now's a good time as any. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the show, folks. Where last we left our characters, we had just added a new girlfriend to the equation, that being Meido-san, who is the most obvious pun yet. And as part of their first date, Hahari told Meido to be Rentaro's maid for the day.
We gotta get that fetish in. This one you expect. This one is fine. I have a lot less of a problem with this one.
Yeah, so they go on a lovely cherry blossom picnic date, except the thing is, Meido-san she can only respond to the stimulus of being given an order. And Rentarō is desperately trying to just have her relax and be normal. Be like,
you're not allowed to be normal in this manga.
He's too wholesome.
I love this arc of them going on their date because Rentarō is always displayed as I'm so wholesome, I'm in tune with my girlfriend's natural needs and wants, and fails to grasp what Meido wants is to be ordered around. That is what she's into. And he's just like, but I don't want to do that because I want to serve you. It's just like, I'm really into being told what to do.
That's my thing.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you that you can't. My monkey's paw wish is that I want you to be of no use to me.
Alas, when two subs collide.
Oh my god, yes, this is literally them trying to out-sub each other. This is like they were gonna go like down to just bone in the park, and both of them just like propped up, and they're like, wait, how does this work?
Yeah.
Although this does have my favorite panel in the manga, which is when she's like, no, you don't understand. I only want to be ordered by you. Give me any order you like.
Literally is explaining to him her cake.
And the manga is zooming in on her mouth, her tits, her ass, and it's just like any red-blooded high school boy being given a free line like that. It would cause an infinite flow of desirable thoughts to flow into his mind, except this is Aijou Rentarō. He can only think in terms of love, not desire. Here is a diagram of his thought process. Truly frightening.
In the captions, it does say, in fact, truly frightening is the last bit there.
It's my favorite
My man-
panel in the whole manga.
My man's brain literally only contains love and a tiny nugget of lust in its very center. And I'm like, this boy doesn't know how to do basic math.
It is, in fact, going to take 100 licks to get to the center of this Tootsie Pop. Only
Very
then
helpful.
will the boning be allowed to happen.
That's how this manga ends, isn't it?
Absolutely.
As we know, Nano has no need for lists.
Yes.
Anyway, Rentarō desperately tries to monkey paw her into attaining self-worth, but she's too busy being subby. So, and the manga decides to portray this by giving her inu ears and a tail because she's a golden retriever. She just wants to be helpful. She just wants to be dog.
It's one of those ones where, like, gosh, if it wasn't so good at making it weird, I would find her golden retriever energy very legitimately endearing. But, like, it's this manga.
I know I'm signing up for too many memes I've got to make for when this comes out, but if I don't make a Mado no Dom only sub,
No, she wants a dom.
No,
No,
yes, that's the bit.
she does not want to Dom. She wants to sub. Rentarō also wants to sub.
It gets to the point where it's like, please, whatever you do, do not help me. Okay, I'll just stand over here. You standing there looking so cute is, in fact, relieving my stress. I'll just stand further away. Knowing that you have my back like this, it gives me a sense of comfort. Okay, I'll hide behind this tree. You hiding behind that tree is so adorable, it lightens my entire day. I'm going to drive away then, wondering what you're doing. It fills me with a sense of joy. You actually called Hahari to sell me this?
And that's why she and Hahari get along so well. She found her dom.
Well, also,
Anyway.
we get the backstory.
We did get the backstory. I'm not gonna lie, I skimmed that.
Oh,
Because it was
I
like a
love the
panel.
backstory. The backstory
Please,
is amazing. It's
please elaborate because I
referenced it-
skimmed that because it was in the middle of another bit chapter. I remember.
yeah, it's the beginning of
because
the next.
I referenced it earlier where I was saying, like, isn't it suck when you have so much money and you literally already have bought everything you could possibly ever want? You just have all this money left over. That was Hahari's like explanation for why, like, she found
she-
her and why she was taking
Why
care
she
of her.
helped Mado.
Who was just out in the wilderness, freezing to death for some reason. I never.
What? No, she says very vividly to Rentarō, is just like, yeah, no, I've actually got a really intense backstory of how I became a maid. It actually got cut by the editors. It was really not even genre appropriate for what we're trying to do, but we're in a bonus chapter right now, so you could just tell us that these people have already bought the volume. They can't return it. It's like, oh, okay then. Well, I guess I'm just going to tell you my gruesome backstory. My family was incredibly poor, so they sold my organs for money. I'm just like, hold on, is this just the plot of Hayate no Combat Butler? And it basically was. She was left poor and destitute and like running from debt collectors who wanted her organs. And then Hahari was just like, hey, I'm rich. I'm going to buy your life. You can't give it up yet because there might be a day in the future you might use your life. I'm like, technically, if you die, there are no days in the future for you to use your life. But, you know,
Shut up.
whatever. We're going to skim over that.
So the actual bit chapter that this was introduced in was Akiba Maid War, because I suppose we're in the part of this manga where all the new girlfriends are just here to introduce the other girls in cute outfits.
You mean the Maid Super Soaker Challenge?
This
Mhm.
was so good.
This was very good. I love this chapter.
Not gonna lie, it seemed like a lot of fun, and I would participate in it. All right, continue.
Good to know for the future.
Wait a minute.
So Patreon bonuses are coming out, guys.
Anyway, Hahari wants to see everybody in maid outfits. So, of course, this just happens.
Rentarō offhandedly mentions, I've always liked maid outfits, and that gets everybody on board.
Oh, right. Because Sahari's like, now everyone put on maid clothes, Karane. And what reason could we possibly have to do that? You know, seeing you all in maid outfits would be really cute. Next page.
Yep. Turn page. There it is. And then somehow it becomes a competition.
Well, because they've got to be
after
the
we
best maids, and a maid would never allow her outfit to be sullied.
Oh, that's right.
Which is explained as a way of upskirting Hikari.
You got them hip.
She do, though. But, and Hahari's like, so obviously, the way we will determine who is the best maid, who is the cleanliest, is that we will have a squirt gun contest. Whoever gets their maid clothes wet is eliminated in the maid survival game, which is actually how I'm going to get to see everybody in soaking wet maid outfits. She starts drooling with heart pupils.
I do like that they cut immediately from Hahari with this like tacit explanation to her internal thoughts, which is exactly what you think they are.
And the winner gets a smoking hot embrace and smooch from Rentarō-chan. Now, since you have to ref this, put on your butler outfit.
I think the best part is I'm not 100% sure, but I think the narration implies that Rentarō just did that. Like that wasn't even Hahari this time.
I believe it's both. No, actually, the narration does say Hahari decided that. Hikari and Shizuka are very into it.
And Mado's just very good at it. They've all got super soakers that are essentially just handguns.
Uh-huh.
And you get some amazing panels where it's not clear they're in a squirt gun fight at all.
Yep.
There's a section of this that's like the bit is, and it actually succeeds for like I think about 5 panels, it actually becomes an action scene, like a well choreographed gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
I love because we're just skimming around here. I love the bit where one of the characters shoots themselves in the head with a squirt gun, and the panel they do it in, it's not clear what has happened.
Yes, because Mado is, of course, winning this as she is the ultimate maid. She's ultra instinct dodging water shots. She goes to shoot Karane, who Matrix dodges it, and Karane has a moment of, oh, my flat chest let me dodge that. I'm just not going to acknowledge that. And Hikari, oh, wow, that would have hit me if I did that move. Okay, do you want to die?
At which point she's promptly eliminated.
And there's a fun bit when ever a girl's eliminated, they get turned into a wet maid pinup for a split second that they seem to be unaware of happening, but also is actually happening diegetically.
Yes, because Karane complains about Hikari's pose.
Hey, go review your own panel if you're going to judge me.
What?
Kurumi is distracted by food, and here's where we get the super intense action scene, because Nano, hyper-processing bot that she is, goes to, like, attack Hahari from behind. Mado goes to defend her, and they activate super combat mode. Akiba Maid Wars. .png.
These girls about to get super stoked.
And Nano's like, fighting the most difficult opponent is too inefficient. I have to wipe out weaker competition. Shizuka-chan, I'm sorry, but here's where you die. I love the panel of Shizuka just randomly firing about in a panic. It's the cutest thing. She's so worried. She's just button mashing.
And because robot that Nano is, because the shots all missed, she removes them from her calculations.
Which means that she didn't account for the water succumbing to gravity and the bullet hitting her in the top of the head.
Shizuka is then promptly hit by her own doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Which just leaves, at that point,
mother, daughter, and maid.
Yeah, and we get a standoff.
Man, this is the weirdest version of the maiden, mother, and crone mythological concept that I've seen in a long time.
But yeah, it goes into the bit that Matt mentioned of Mado doesn't want to threaten Hahari, so she eliminates.
No, Hahari eliminates herself.
Oh, right, it's Hahari that does it. Because no, I can't let you do that.
She shoots herself in the head. She puts it to her temple too.
Yeah,
What? God
because it's
damn.
the main outfit that you're supposed to keep clean.
I love the way the splash is drawn. It's not clear it's water just from the panel alone. So out of context, what the f- just happened?
I mean, honestly, the context doesn't help that much.
The context is these girls got super soaked.
My favorite is the then sudden standoff between Hikari and Mado. Mado wins the shot, wins the standoff. The panel of her getting shot is like in the side, like it ripped out part of her stomach.
Yeah.
Immediately juxtaposed with her striking a sexy maid pose.
And then the bit between her and Karane. But even though Mado won, she reflexively cradles her fallen mistress.
Which gets her wet too. So everyone loses, which means everyone wins, so everyone gets a kiss. Which of course ends up getting Rentarō soaked as well. And he gets a soaked sexy butler pose.
Which causes some of the other girls to become even more super soaked. And then the mangaka apologizes for that pun.
The angel from the first chapter desperately tries to cut in and prevent that from happening, but he fails horribly.
Yeah, I think the angel from the first chapter is now just very clearly the author self-insert.
Yeah.
I mean, basically. But you know what? We've got a couple of chapters without introducing a new waifu, so
Just because this comes up later, is this also the part where they've got the end of volume chapter where
yeah, the extra thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
the Hikari has the like, oh yeah, we're in the volume release. We don't have to play by magazine's rules. You can go to town on me, and then he wakes up in a dream. Like, only because she then references this event like it happened later to everyone's confusion and goes, "Oh wait, no, that was a dream."
One of the bits from this is Mado during her date with Rentarō. I'll just leave the manga, and then Rentarō bashing his head through reality to say the lengths for which you would go for me.
Oh, guys, you know what? It's been a long time since we've introduced a new girlfriend.
Yeah. Honestly, the rate of girlfriend introduction has dropped precipitously. So, let's introduce the masochist girl.
All the other girlfriends suddenly remembered 2 arcs ago they were in an eating competition, so they're like, oh, well, time to go to the gym to lose weight. Which means Rentarō, for some reason, is not there with him, which I'm just like, that doesn't seem like my boy. He's just going off doing his own thing. He'd be there coaching them. But regardless, I guess he's just doing his own thing.
My favorite part of this introduction page is that all the girls look horrified, except Kasuri, who is in her big form and seems proud somehow. And also Kurumi, who is like, this is just the way I live. And Mado, who is not in the eating contest and so does not know what's going on.
I think that doesn't the narration point that out?
A little bit.
That Kurumi, that Mado is doesn't know what's going on.
Anyway, Rentarō, we need some time alone to do cuteness training after school. But you're already so cute. The fact that you still strive for more. Oh, my girlfriends are incredible.
What they didn't understand is you cannot leave Rentarō alone for any amount of time, because otherwise he's going to find a cute tomboy to then fall in love with. And I'm just like, God damn it. That's what this manga's been missing. We need more cute tomboys. Where are my tomboys?
This is a perfect example of the manga being perfectly predictable. But, so, problem. The girls ate too much and need to maintain their trim figures. How do we solve this? Sports girl. Okay. You have solved this too quickly, and we still need to reach page count for the chapters. How do we introduce a complication in order to make more pages happen? She's into S&M.
She's literally just Darkness from Konosuba. I am okay with this.
She's a huge masochist.
Guys, she's a sports manga protagonist. They, like, of course, they overvalue working yourself to the brim.
She wants you to hit her with a bat
Well,
until she dies.
that happens later. That's not how she's.
That happens later. Not the fact that it happens at all.
Well, I'm trying to say how her initial arc is characterizing her, which I think is important because this entire thing is a parody of sports manga. So
Yes.
her entire character trait is I work so hard and like no pain, no gain. Except she's a little too into the pain.
It's like, okay, so what's the twist? It hurts so much. It's so good.
The first bit that we get of this is Rentarō notes when she's saying it hurts so much. There's a heart in her speech bubble, and Rentarō out loud mentions, "Should there have been a heart in that speech bubble?"
Let's skim through this. So Sato's just there. She's cute tomboy. She is the thing that only happens in manga is that, hey, the girls it's not softball. The girls baseball team needs 9 members because if we lose this next game, our club's getting disbanded.
Mhm.
Man, that's weird. Do you have like other girls who are playing? Yeah, but we all love baseball so much they decided to go train in the land where baseball was invented. Wait, they all went to America? Yes, so I'm here alone. That doesn't. Well, I really need to help you out. It's like good.
Makes sense.
We're gonna train through the night, and then they have a cute, super fun interaction. And I love the manga just decides to play this completely straight, and it is. She is genuinely. Sato's just like, oh man, this boy noticed me. Wow, man, we're like in the same grade and everything. And she's, oh man, we had so much in common and we had so much fun last night. I think I might be in love. And she's like, I'm gonna go talk to him about this. And then she sees in the hallway, he is holding hands with Nano, notorious BJ queen. And she is just like, oh no, oh no. Oh no! I can't suck down glizzies like that.
Rentarō-kun, will you go out with me? I'm sorry. I can't. I already have 8 girlfriends. I can't possibly make more girlfriends happy. So I'm so terribly sorry, but I have to reject you. Oh, this heartbreak. This pain feels so good. Why are you vomiting blood? I'm sorry.
There's a 2-page spread of this girl just like creaming herself over being rejected.
And the episode is officially explicit. That's why the tag is there, ladies and gentlemen.
Rentarō.
I'm sorry. Nano the blowjob queen didn't get us there, I guess.
Fair. That is a fair point.
And Rentarō, vomiting blood is like, actually, I saw the expression on your face when I was holding hands with Nano earlier today, so I figured you would like that. But my good boy sub powers rejected the idea of me rejecting you so much that this happened. I would love to go out with you. I'm dying. Oh, God.
Look, Rentaro is just there on the sidelines going like, I am a good, wholesome boy, but if my girlfriend asks me to choke her, I will. I'm like, okay, Rentaro.
Wholesome. Wholesome.
He's got like 1% of Switch in him.
The thing is, that's not a bit. It's literally true.
This is the plot of the manga.
Yep.
He knows his girls so well that he's willing to do whatever brings them ultimate happiness and joy. Anything.
So anyway.
Except that.
regardless.
He's too wholesome.
Regardless, Masochism Heartbreak sub is now on the team and she's tomboying it up. But she's like, hey, by the way, I'm still missing the exact number of players I need for my baseball team, which is currently also the number of girls there are. 9. Well, hold on. We have 3 people who aren't in this high school. One of them is an adult who's in charge of this high school. One of them's a maid and one of them's a child. Oh, well, we just won't have them. We'll have other people play those parts. Okay, cool. Let's get a baseball team together.
We'll have the 3 who can't participate train with everybody to help them get in shape in time.
They just do a legitimate baseball training montage.
Important to point out that when Iku introduces herself to the gang, she's like, I'm Suto Iku, year 1, class 3. I'm very pleased to meet you. Now, in order to establish a hierarchy, please paddle me in order of seniority. No, we're not doing that.
Is that a fraternity thing?
Then they do it.
Yeah, they do. They do. ultimately
Kasuri
do
does it.
Well, yeah.
Whatever makes her feel comfortable,
He
guys.
barely does anything wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you basically like have to if you know that's their thing.
Okay, we continue the long-running over manga cast tradition of me tricking these guys into reading a sports manga.
Yeah, yeah.
They go full Eye Shield 21. Like, their scrimmage is against a team called the Jurassics, who have a pitcher
Or dinosaurs or something.
who has like a T-Rex cannon for her fastball. And there's a whole backstory about how Sato's like super good at pitching, but she freezes up whenever she's at bat. And like, they have a great bit about how like, guys, we just trained really hard for a week. Why did we think we could beat a baseball team?
We didn't think this through.
The other teams probably trained for way longer than that.
Well, I'll tell you how they beat an actual baseball team. It's with the power of righteous fury, because one of these is on the other team, one of the only two with an actual personality and name, bullies Shizuka, calling her a weak link to her face, which causes Shizuka to break down in tears. And the sheer protective rage of the rest of the team causes them to develop a perfect counter strategy for the enemy team's single strategy
Of that one fastball. And at the end of one of the chapters,
they are pure hearts awakened by fury.
I'm reading this and I'm like, wait a second, this sounds kind of familiar. They committed to it way harder than I was expecting.
They are the Super Smitten.
Oh my god.
Everyone gets Super Saiyan hairstyles and the eyes.
That's an amazing end of chapter thing. And then like, I love the bit where they finally beat the T-Rex cannon pitch with because Sato's got a whole thing where she once hit a home run and it basically like beamed a girl unconscious. Like
And like,
it doesn't look great.
they play it straight too. Like, this is actually just like good.
This is actually just a sports manga. Like, this just turns into a baseball manga for a bit. They've even got the bit where like the narrator jumps in to go like, so they're really playing fast and loose with the rules of baseball here, to the point that I think anyone who genuinely liked this sport might just get frustrated. I'm really not sure who this is for. And I'm like, oh, you've got a lot of points here. And like, they've got the whole thing where Sato's up to bat and she's like, I'm gonna grip so hard, I am ready to go, because Rentarō is just like, wherever you hit the ball, I'll make sure to catch it. You're never gonna hurt anyone again. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna get a home run, and proceeds to hit the ball so hard, and it's like just a full 2-page spread, because I guess that's what Sato's job is 2-page spreads.
It's several pages.
Dinosaur extinction shot, or meteor extinction
meteor.
shot. Yep.
You're welcome. Is that Prince of Tennis? I did watch Prince of Tennis.
Yes, that is a Prince of Tennis reference, because they've got the whole like tennis ball that is the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. But also,
For the record, I did enjoy Prince of Tennis. Yes.
Okay. This is baseball. It's a different sport.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you got me.
And they have the bases loaded. They need a grand slam in order to win, because it's the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. As Matt has been alluding to, Iku uses all of her power and with the strength of love overcomes her trauma to hit that home run so hard it destroys all of her clothes except her underwear.
Glorious.
Running underwear, which I'm just saying,
Yes.
top tier tomboy.
Yeah, her sports bra and boy shorts, which is perfect.
I'm learning more and more about you. It's very interesting, guys.
I'm just wondering, why are there not tomboy harem manga?
Exactly.
They kill each other.
I'd still read it. That
You're right.
That
Group of tomboys would not put up for a harem, would they? They would just fight.
No, they would be super tsundere and cutthroat at the same time. It'd be awful.
But Rentarō catches the ball, and as the smoke cloud clears, he is also naked, except for his boxers, because clothing destruction is apparently how we win baseball.
You're not wrong.
I mean, do you want to wrestle with a naked dude? I don't. You win.
Well,
Get out of here.
And with the strength of this nude grand slam, they have won the baseball game. And Rentarō and Iku share their first kiss in their underwear. It is so post-coital looking. It is the most after sex of all of these that we've had so
Thank you,
far.
Sam. Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
I'm learning so much more.
I don't remember if this is coming up, but just like the mention of Rentarō, he catches the baseball and it blows his clothes off and he's in his underwear. When did the loincloth bit come in?
Oh, that was during
that
training.
was during the trading.
Yeah, because that's one of those ones where like I don't remember the context because it doesn't make sense.
Rentarō decided that he was going to do all-night training with Iku. And for some reason, he thought this needed to be done in a loincloth, so he tore off all his clothes except for a loincloth. And then, independent of him, the rest of the harem were like, we're going to train all night too. Rentarō, why are you in a loincloth? No reason.
I love how none of the harem is okay with the loincloth. They're all just like, Rentarō, really rare for you, but this was just a dumb play. What is this nonsense?
Not even Hahari was into the loincloth.
Ugh. Anyway, we got a tomboy now.
Took way too long. Again, still don't like
Thank
this pacing.
Thank you, Jay.
Speed it up.
Jay is on the same board. It took way too long to get a tomboy. There should be a tomboy on every other arc.
Vote for me. Tomboys on every single corner. Guaranteed.
You're a Marvel Colonel. I'll follow you for the rest of my life.
Anyway, Macho Ultimatum starts playing, and well, now we need to wind down a bit with a cooldown arc. Some cute bits to end on. One chapter is literally just all the girls saying, you know what, we haven't said I love you to Rentarō enough yet. Let's do that.
Yep.
And then
And
they
it's-
just do that.
Yeah, I kind of skimmed this one. It was literally every page is a different girl saying "I love you."
No, 100%. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pick your favorite girls and then go to the point of view shots of them confessing how much they love you. That's entirely
Shit,
what
you're
this
right.
is built around.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
All right then. So that happens.
And my favorite bit was Karane, the tsundere, is the final holdout. How every other girl has said I love you in these heartfelt confessions.
Oh my.
And she's like,
Oh my god.
Kurumi is also overwhelmed by the emotion and says it, and she's like, Kurumi, how could you? How could you betray me in tsundere, in the knowledge of tsundere? It's like, I'm sorry, Karane senpai.
I love the tsundere betrayal. It's so stupid.
It's so good.
Oh my god. Well, no, you don't get to call something stupid considering Rentarō's in this chapter.
Well, that's true.
Rentarō slowly dehydrating from the comedic amount of tears he's gushing out. We get the panel that everyone has seen.
Describe it in extreme detail, Sam. Go.
I think Matt was about to.
It's Rentarō literally saying every single thing he loves about every single one of the 9 girls.
In
Yes.
like 7-point type font, single spaced.
2 solid blocks of text.
Oh
He is
my
the
God.
ideal male specimen. And he actually listens and cares about every woman, every little detail. And he loves everything about you.
1/4 of this page is his bashful expression. The remaining 75% is these walls of text.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I turned to that page and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna read that.
I thought I was reading Hunter x Hunter for a second.
Oof.
Interesting crossover. Oof.
But anyway, that's really the point of that chapter. And
Yes.
then they go to karaoke. Karaoke, I thought was going to be normal because we actually don't get times where the girls are in like. I think it hasn't been since they went to the pool. We've seen them.
Normal.
I think it hasn't been since they went to the pool that we've seen them in like other outfits. So I was expecting that, but I forgot Kasumi was here. And they do a bit where each of the girls is singing a song. I'm like, okay, I get what the point of this is. But the real point is that Shizuka is too shy to sing, but she wants to try because Rentarō's is like, hey, your voice is really cute. You don't have to do anything you don't want. She's like, but I want to sing. It's like, okay, well, you give it a shot. Meanwhile, Kasumi has drugged everyone with a "he's super overwhelmed by cute things" drug.
Yes, because why not?
Is that why that happens?
Yes.
Yes. It is dumb, Jacob. It is dumb. But it happens.
I'm not gonna lie. I was rapidly tuning out at this point. My
Yes.
brain was mush.
Nonsense happens that they get overwhelmed by Shizuka's adorable cuteness that they like literally just
Explode into the wall.
explode into the wall.
It creates a wall of force.
I really liked Hahari and someone else got Yamcha'd.
Do not speak his name. Rest in peace, bro.
Like they're in the Yamcha death pose, and it's great.
Cadaverific.
The Yamcha death pose is the Wilhelm scream of manga.
That is one of the truest statements that we have ever heard on the Over Manga Cast, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, it's Hahari and Rentarō that get Yamcha posed. And it's the rest of the girls who desperately try to withstand the power of Shizuka being the cutest looking thing to exist in the universe.
Because again, they've all been drugged.
They've all been drugged. Iku's like, no, I can help you focus with the power of pain. Let me hit you on the ass with this bat. Why do you have a bat? Because every baseball person has a bat all the time. It's like a samurai becoming one with their sword. No, it isn't. Anyway, I'm going to hit you now. No, my ultra instinct activated. I take the bat and hit you instead.
Which is what she wanted all along.
A lot of dumb stuff happens.
Yeah, it's basically an entire chapter of each girl trying desperately to withstand the force. And then Karane being like, no!
Oh, and then Rentarō has to stop it with a duet because that makes him immune from how cute it is because he has to focus on himself singing.
That's the only way he won't hear the sound of her adorable voice, by utilizing the power of hearing himself. And unfortunately, this is too strong and sends all the girls flying across the city. And that's where we end our reading, mercifully at last. Okay, so I've decided to divide the favorite girl question into favorite new girl and favorite overall girl, if different.
That's not fair. There's only 3 to pick from.
Yes, Jay, I understand. I originally didn't like Karumi that much, but over time, her bit became much more appealing. It became funnier to me. So I think in terms of raw bit, Karumi is my favorite new girl, although I'm not immune to darkness propaganda, so Iku is up there.
I find her a lot funnier when she's on the sidelines. I didn't like her being the main force of mainly the like first interaction chapter. I thought the food tournament arc she was fine in, but she's also kind of more of a side character in that anyway.
Yeah, especially because during her first interaction, it seemed like they were going to rely too much on her pun bit, the word association thing. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to get any of these because I'm reading a localization.
Yes.
But overall, Karane is still best girl. It's a well-established fact I like the straight men in comedy manga, and she is the straightest straight man who is also fantastic bisexual rep. So
I was about to say, she is not the straightest straight man by any means.
she's definitely not straight, but she is the straight man. And that makes her doubly based in my eyes. So yeah, Karane. Matt, how about you?
Well, favorite new girl is Sato Iku, because top tier tomboy, top tier gimmick, top tier. We read a just genuine baseball manga.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, she's probably up there for my favorite girl overall. Although I will have to say, Nano jumped up in the ranks for being top tier glizzy guzzling queen.
Jacob, how about you?
Well, here's a fun bit where we're messing with the natural order, only fitting for this manga. I kind of agree with Matt on both points. I love Darkness from Konosuba. This is Darkness from Konosuba. Yay! I love that. Iku as the favorite new girl. Though I will say, I really do genuinely, and you know, me and dogs, ha 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 ha. But I do actually really love Mado's golden retriever energy.
Mm-hmm.
That is really fun. But Iku is my favorite new one. And I also absolutely I still love Kurumi, honestly, for all the reasons Sam mentioned. But Nano like rocketed up to my favorites by a lot in this. And it was because I realized almost all of the jokes I was like out loud laughing at were Nano's jokes. And I realized why. I love straight men in comedy series, but another thing that I really love, which they're usually tied together, but they're not always the same thing. And in this case, they're not. Nano is such a fantastic deadpan snarker.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is utterly brutal at times. And like a lot of her, like, they're the kinds of jokes that we didn't really get into because they're like context based in the chapter, and we'd have to laboriously go through every movement of each chapter to go through those jokes. But there were a lot of jokes where it's just like, I just stopped because I had to laugh at that. So Nano by far has become the funniest character to me.
All right, and Jay.
This was hard. So if I absolutely had to pick, I would have to side with Kurumi because food.
Excellent, good choice. The power of hanky. You're putting her for both best new girl and best overall girl?
I have to say Hahari is best overall for me. The other ones, it was just kind of like, I don't know, just not my type.
All right.
I'm just playing bingo at this point.
Yeah.
Speaking of bingo, we are roughly 10% of the way to 100 girlfriends. What more bases do we have to cover?
Free space.
God damn it.
Matt, that terrifies me. I don't know what that could be, but I think this manga would do it.
I mean, Kurumi is kind of this, but you need to have like alt girl. Gmelf is still on there.
No. Yeah, we need Hahari's mother.
we need the gilf, actual alt girl. Yeah.
Okay, so 100%. Like, Hahari is an authority figure in the school, but we need teacher. Teacher's going to be in there. Nurse. Somebody's going to go to the hospital, and that's going to be another thing.
Religious girl.
None.
Yeah.
We need a girl who gets off on inflicting violence.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we've already got darkness pre-isekai. Thank you for the joke, John.
At the very least, we have to go through all of the Halloween costumes. That's the bare minimum.
We're
going to get that at least that far.
So we need a werewolf, a vampire, and a Frankenstein.
You need
Yeah.
a cult girl.
I was gonna say like one of those goth seance girls
Ah, you're right.
Yep.
who's like real into horror movies.
Somebody who cooks. You need someone who's a chef.
Mhm.
Also, depending on some things, we could have girlfriend, male, or boyfriend, female.
I can see them going there.
Hey, technically, Sato uses Boku as her pronouns, but I know that is weird how that works. How that translates, I should say, is a better way of phrasing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I want my Astolfo. Where's the Astolfo?
There's more. I'm just not thinking of them.
Captain of the girls' kendo club, who's real into like traditional values.
Ah,
Was then not happy at all about being part of a harem.
the Seiko. Right.
Also, you know what? I'm just gonna say cowgirl. She came from America.
He murdered.
The girls baseball club is gonna come back with an extra member.
Who is the cowgirl?
You need also like social media streamer chick.
Oh yeah, streamer girl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gamer GF.
Like a chubby girlfriend, maybe. Well, we've already got the one who's really into food, so I think if you do it, then I don't know.
But she's not chubby. She has a high metabolism. If she doesn't eat, she might
that's what I'm
literally
saying.
die.
The problem is, I think you would have put the personality traits in that order, so I don't know.
Oh, you need to have an alien.
Yeah, we need an alien.
It looks like there's a lot of territory left to explore. So, would you continue reading? I'm gonna say, I think we read a bit too much for one sitting. Although, that could just be because I had a very busy week IRL and did this all in one sitting, which was definitely more than you're supposed to do with this manga. I think in a more controlled dosage, I would continue reading this. Jacob, how about you?
Nope, I would not.
All right.
Now I want to preface this with this manga is bad. As I said before, it's the good kind of bad. There are cases where it gets weird and I get actually uncomfortable. I wish Karani's bit was different. And that's not even the only one. There are a couple of other places where it's like, yeah, pump the brakes, manga. You're getting a little bit, you're getting a little bit actively uncomfortable. But honestly, in a sort of similar sentiment with Sam, this is something that should probably be had in smaller doses, but I know I'd rather be doing something else rather than reading a chapter of this. I wouldn't be against doing more episodes. Like if we make this a Valentine's Day tradition, I wouldn't be that broken up about it. But just like honestly, there are a lot of other series I'd rather spend time reading a chapter of than this. So it's very much in the case where it's so low down the list, it's basically not on it.
All right, Jay, how about you?
I'm content not reading more of the series unless the podcast dictates it, because I get my enjoyment from other series.
I'll stay with Sam here. I love this trash.
What? Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's just better quality harem manga.
No, that's the problem, though. This isn't trying to be a good harem manga. This is purposely deconstructing the concept as being absurd. Like,
but you won't read my trashy crap.
No, because your trash is being serious.
Alrighty, so thank you everyone once again for listening to the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all of your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever is still alive at this point.
We are also on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. The episodes go up there on a 2-week delay, but you can also see all of our episodes, including all of our backlog, on overmangacast.com, which also allows you to comment on individual episodes.
If you're listening to us on either of those, why don't you just go ahead down in the comments right now and say hi. Hi.
Hello.
Sam, you're not listening to this. Anyway, if you'd like to reach out to us in a more direct way, if you've got like a request, or we appreciate reviews in any all forms, iTunes, wherever. But you can also send an email to overmangacast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. We always try and do a request in a short order. Sometimes we hit snags, but we're generally pretty good about this. I know 100 Girlfriends was a well-requested revisit, so here we are. And if you want us to do more of this show, you know it's a great way to do it. Comment section below. Say, I don't care what Jacob says. He has bad taste. You should read more of this great manga. Say that exactly.
I would not be shocked if that were the case. That's fair.
And make sure to tune in next Thursday, where we are. God, we're really going on the roller coaster with themes here. We went from Promised Neverland to this, and now we're going to a Tatsuki Fujimoto. We're gonna read the one-shot Look Back. So, it's a one-shot. I don't need to tell you the chapter number.
Yeah, I expect it to be a perfect merger of our last two readings thematically. That's sort of what I've come to expect from Tatsuki Fujimoto, and never really disappointed. So
You really got no excuse not to read it. It's like 100 pages long.
So, hey, read that if you're keeping up with the show, and we'll see you all next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
good night, everybody.
Hey, I hear you listen to the end of the episode. Don't worry. You don't have to be alone on Valentine's Day. I'll be there with you.
Stop seducing our listeners, Matt.
What are you doing? Damn it, I thought it'd work.